everyone. Welcome back to 30 Days of Yin Yoga. Today's theme will be centered around waking up early mornings, just getting the day started after hopefully a restful night's sleep. And if it wasn't restful, this is still a great way to help revitalize and energize yourself for the day ahead. Option to grab two blocks and a bolster or any props that are similar that may be able to support you throughout our practice today. We're going to get started in dangling pose. So come to stand up and just hinge your body forward. Release any tension you're holding from your upper body. Option to use blocks here to bring the earth a little bit closer to you, as we will be in this pose for about 2 minutes. So it's nice sometimes just to be able to have that support, play around with how tall or how low the blocks are, or maybe you don't have blocks at all. Just allow your legs to straighten, keep a micro bend to not lock your legs out. And then just allow the rest of your upper body to completely melt and surrender here. Starting your day off with this pose is a great way to stretch out your lower back and send blood towards your head, helping to make you feel more awake and prepared for the day ahead of you. Begin to slowly make your way down. If you had blocks, you can press them off to the side for the time being. Then, without lifting your head, begin to bend your knees and send your seat down to the ground. So we make our way into a seated twist. Bend your left leg underneath you and bring your left heel towards your glute. Sit both sit bones into the earth and bring your right foot over your left knee. Press firmly into your right foot. Inhale, you find length. Begin to wrap your left arm around your right knee. And then send your right hand back behind you. You find the depth that works best for you here. If your foot cannot come fully to the ground, you can always bring your foot to the outside of your left shin and take the twist from there. I invite you to close your eyes, especially in twists, because it's really easy when we get into twists to take our gaze. That is what's doing the twist rather than our body. So when you inhale, you find length, and when you exhale, maybe you find a little deeper of a twist to arrive at. Slowly unwind your body and bring your torso square to the front of the room. You can take your right leg off from your left leg, untwist your legs. We're going to slowly make our way into caterpillar pose. Option to grab your bolster or a pillow here, or blocks. If you're using your bolster or pillow, bring it towards your belly button. Find length as you inhale. And as you exhale, begin to slowly melt your heart forward. You reach towards your toes. Maybe you find a bind of your hands around your feet, or maybe you just relax your arms by your side. If you're using a block, you can place the block on your thighs or your shins just to allow your head to relax and feel a little bit support as we come into this deep forward fold. Begin to slowly roll your body up vertebrae by vertebrae, allowing your head to be the last thing to rise. If you were using props, you can set them off to the side now. We make our way into seated twists now on the other side. Come to bend your right knee underneath you. Bring your right heel towards your glute. Then your left leg bends over and plants firmly on the floor on the outside of your thigh. Both sit bones are firmly pressed into the ground, and you find the depth of the twist here. Maybe you lock your right forearm around your left knee, or maybe you bring it a little bit further and you press the outside of your right arm into the outside of your left thigh. Arrive to where you can comfortably stay for the next 3 minutes. Incorporating seated twists, especially in the morning, are extremely beneficial for your digestion, as well as it helps to lengthen and open up your spine, back, hips, shoulders, and chest, making it an antidote to back pain as well. So I invite you to just take these next few minutes to really relish in the benefits from this pose. Wherever it was that you landed, begin to slowly untwist your body and square your chest off to the front of the room. You can release the twist from your legs and extend your legs out long. You find staff pose here for just a moment and a neutral spine. And we'll begin to open our legs out to the side of our mat as we find dragonfly pose. So your legs extend out as wide as serves you in your body. Option to recruit one of your blocks here. Place it to the inside of your right shin if you'd like to use it. And then begin to tilt your torso over to the right side. Maybe your right forearm comes to rest on the ground. Maybe it comes to rest on a block. I'll grab my block here just to bring the earth a little bit closer to me. Being a little bit tight in my body today, so I'm meeting myself where I'm at. Then you can stay there, or you can extend your left arm up to the sky and come to bend it over. And maybe you create this like little pillow for your head to rest in, kind of like if you were basking on the beach under the sun, creating that little pillow with your hands. Or you can reach your left arm over even more and reach for your toes. Do try to continue to shine your heart open to the side of the room and prevent yourself from collapsing in on yourself. Begin to slowly make your way back up to center with a nice long neutral spine. Find stillness here for a moment and that nice long tall spine. And if you were using your block and want it again, you can just move it over to the left side now onto the inside of our left shin. We'll begin to slowly make our way down, finding the depth that works best for us here. And where your arriving point is may look different from mine, so be curious, explore, listen, of course, to my suggestions, but really feel empowered to take authority over your body, your space, and your practice. Side bends are another amazing pose to do, especially at the beginning of the day or even at the end of the day, since it really focuses on lengthening the abdominal muscles and thigh muscles. These muscles, they tend to get short and tighten in daily life due to time just spent sitting and slouching. So, really take this moment to feel that expansion in your body, feel the benefits of staying here and finding that stillness. Slowly begin to make your way back up. You find a nice, tall, neutral spine for just a moment. We can send our block or our prop off to the side if you had one. Gonna make our way onto our back. So come to face long ways on your mat, bring your legs together, and slowly roll your spine down vertebrae by vertebrae. Gonna come to figure four. So bend your knees up towards the sky, your feet plant into the earth, and come to bring your right ankle over your left thigh. Maybe this is where you stay, maybe that's enough. You want a little bit more? You'll lift your left thigh up and you'll reach one arm in between your legs and the other arm to the outside of your thigh. You'll find that bind of your hands behind your left thigh. Play around with the depth of the sensation you would like. Try to pull your thigh a little bit closer to you, or maybe you use your right elbow to just gently press your right knee a little bit more towards the front of the room. Play around with those sensations and play around where it is that you would like to arrive for these next few minutes. If your legs were up, begin to release the bind of your thigh and allow your feet to come down to the mat. You find a neutral spine for just a moment. Both knees point up to the ceiling. And then you'll begin to bring your left ankle over on top of your right thigh. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe this is enough for you today. If you want a little bit more, bring your right thigh in towards your chest and you find that lock of your hands behind your thigh. This is a wonderful, deep outer hip stress. And it's especially helpful if you're someone that has to commute to work or have to remain seated for long periods of time. Really helps to open up that stagnant energy that can start to build in our hips. So find the depth of the sensation that serves you and pushes you a little bit and stay there. Mindfully begin to release the bind from your thigh and send your feet back down to the earth. Become in this just very neutral, resting pose for just a moment with our knees facing up and our feet on the earth. We're gonna make our way into maybe one of my favorite poses in Yin, which will be extended bridge pose. So go ahead and grab a block or a bolster, but I do suggest something a little bit more firm like a block. Roll your way back down onto your spine and come into that neutral spine position with our knees pointed up. You'll press firmly into your feet and bring your block underneath your sacrum, so the very low part of your back, right before your butt. Maybe we stay there. Maybe we explore extending one leg out and then the other. Should be no tension in your lower back. If you want a little bit more from there, you can try extending our arms out long behind us. So our body is in one of those very similar stretches maybe we do in the morning where we extend our limbs away from each other and find that deep stretch. But here we find a moment of stillness in this stretch. You start to feel pain or tension in your lower back, just take it back a step. Maybe you bring your arms back in. Maybe you bring your legs back in and you just have this supported bridge pose. Acknowledge where you're at. Acknowledge where it is that maybe you would like to grow into. And just acknowledge without judgment and support yourself in the best way possible. If your arms were extended above your head, begin to bring them back to the side of your body. One at a time, you'll walk one foot back and then the other back, so your feet are planted firmly into the ground and your knees point up to the sky. Press firmly into your feet to lift your hips and then remove the block from underneath your sacrum and just set it off to the side. Lie your hips down and just find this neutral spine for a moment. We'll roll over and meet ourselves on our stomach for one of our last poses of the session today. So when you're ready, roll over to one side and then come to meet on your stomach. We'll need our block here. Place the block at the top of your mat. We'll rest our head here as we come into bow tie pose. So extend your legs long behind you and wrap your right arm underneath your body. And then in front of you, you wrap your left arm in front of your body. So kind of like you're giving yourself a big hug, but without bringing your hands to your shoulder blades, you'll just extend your arms out to the side. May take a second to wiggle in to your stillness where it feels comfortable to sit at that edge of your discomfort. We'll stay here for a few minutes and I'll let you know when it's time to switch sides. Begin to press into your elbows to slowly bring your arms back to the center of your body and to lift your chest up. We'll switch the orientation of our arms, so whichever arm was closer to your body, just bring it out further towards the block, so the opposite arm is on top now, and you can find that deep shoulder stretch on this side of your arm iteration. Play around with how far close the block is so you can completely rest your forehead on that block and completely surrender into this pose. Press into your elbows and slowly begin to bring your arms back to center as you press your chest up. Move your block to the side. Press into your palms. Open your knees wide. Bring your big toes to touch. We come to find extended child's pose. Bring your seat back towards your heels. Extend your arms out long in front of you and rest your forehead on the earth. Finding this deep opening in your upper body, finding the release of tension in your hips and your stomach, fully surrendering to the earth allowing yourself to be supported here and feeling the benefits of the practice that you just took. I will leave you here. If you would like to stay longer or have the time, I definitely suggest to do so. Otherwise, thank you so much for practicing with me today. The light in me bows to the light in you. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.